Namaste dosto. Welcome back to the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. And I'm your host, Kapil Gupta. And today, I want to start with a very real question. Have you ever felt like life is unfair? Like no matter how hard you try, things don't go your way. Maybe you studied late into the night but still scored lower than your friend who seemed to barely touch his books. Or maybe you tried for an internship but someone with better connections got it instead. Or maybe your parents, teachers, or even society made you feel like your voice doesn't matter. So I want you to pause and think about those moments. In those situations, what story did you tell yourself? Did you say, why does this always happen to me? Or did you say, okay, this happened. Now, what can I do next? And the difference in inner dialogue, my friends, is the difference between being a victim and being a victor. A victim believes life is controlled by external forces, while a victor knows they may not control everything, but they can control their response. And trust me, the response makes all the difference. So, by the end of this episode, you will have a complete toolkit to identify when you are stuck in victim mode, practical techniques to reframe your thinking, and actionable steps to become the hero of your own career story. So stay with me till the end because I promise by the time we finish this conversation, you'll not look at challenges the same way again. Hello all, I'm Kapil Gupta, founder of Study Abroad Academy. I'm on a mission to coach and mentor 100,000 high school students and help them realize the dream of studying in the best universities of the world and build happy and successful careers for themselves. So let's first unpack what this whole victim versus victor mindset actually means. Imagine two students, Ria and Arjun. Both of them failed a maths test. Ria thinks this always happens to me. I'm just not good at numbers. My teacher doesn't even like me. What's the point of trying? Arjun, on the other hand, thinks I didn't study well for this test. But this is feedback. I'll ask the teacher for guidance and I'll improve next time. Same situation, two different mindsets. Ria slips into victim mode, blaming circumstances, feeling powerless. Arjun chooses the victor mode, taking responsibility and looking for solutions. Now, the victim mindset often feels comfortable because it allows us to avoid responsibility. If life is always against you, then you don't need to act, right? So you can just sit and complain. But the cost is very high. You stay stuck, you waste your potential, and worst of all, you slowly start believing that you're not capable of more. On the other hand, the victim mindset is about ownership. It's about saying, I may not control the storm, but I can learn how to sail my boat. This doesn't mean you always succeed instantly. Victors fail too, but instead of giving up, they see failure as feedback. And that small shift makes all the difference in careers. Employers love victors because they are problem solvers. Teachers respect victors because they show effort. And friends admire victors because they inspire hope. Think about it. Would you rather work with someone who constantly explains why things went wrong? Or someone who's already thinking about solutions? The victim mindset makes you more attractive to employers, better at handling workplace challenges, and significantly more likely to create opportunities rather than wait for them. So, if you look at great leaders from Mahatma Gandhi to APJ Abdul Kalam, none of them had perfect circumstances, but they chose not to remain victims of their situations. They reframed their struggles into opportunities. And that is the essence of the victor mindset. And here's what's really exciting: this isn't a personality trait you are born with, it's a skill you can develop. Just like you learn to ride a bicycle or use Excel, you can train your brain to default to victor thinking. And once you do, your career will never be the same. So now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds good in theory, but why do I keep slipping into victim mode? The truth is, we all carry personal roadblocks. Now, these are limiting beliefs that we have collected over time. See, sometimes they come from past failures. You failed once in an exam and you told yourself, I'm not smart enough. Sometimes they come from external criticism. Maybe a teacher once told you, you're not cut out for science, and you started believing it. Sometimes they come from comparison. You scroll through Instagram, see your classmates abroad posting glossy pictures, and you think, I'll never achieve that. The first step to change is awareness. Do a quick self audit. Ask yourself, do I often blame others for my situation? Or do I hesitate to take action because I'm scared of failing? Or do I say I can't more often than I can? So, if your answer is yes, you've identified your roadblocks. So, let me share a story. A student I once mentored, Sneha, always believed she was bad at public speaking. In school, once she froze on stage, and since then, she avoided all opportunities. During our sessions, we reframed this belief. She started with small steps, reading one paragraph aloud in class, recording a voice note daily. Over time, she realized she wasn't bad, she just lacked practice. And today, Sneha is a confident speaker leading presentations at her college. Her roadblock wasn't her ability, it was the story she was telling herself. So, the most common roadblocks I see among young Indians are these: I need someone to give me permission to succeed. I have to be perfect before I try. My background determines my future, and I should wait for the right opportunity to come to me. Sounds familiar? So here's what's liberating. Once you identify your specific roadblocks, they lose their power over you. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. The monsters you are scared of turn out to be just shadows. Your limiting beliefs are just thoughts you have practiced thinking for a long time. And any thought you have learned, you can unlearn. So, this brings us to the most powerful step: reframing your narrative. Now, what is reframing? It's the art of changing the lens through which you see your situation. How cool is that? For example, instead of saying, I can't do this, start saying, I choose to try. Instead of, I failed, say, I learned what doesn't work. So here's a simple 3 step process. Step 1: awareness. Catch yourself when you have a negative thought. For example, I'm not confident enough to speak up. Step 2: challenge it. Ask yourself, is this always true? Are there times when I've spoken up before? And step 3: rewrite it. Tell yourself, I may feel nervous, but I can prepare and speak anyway. So, to make this practical, try journaling. Every night, write down one negative thought you had that day. Then rewrite it into an empowered version. Over a week, you'll notice your language shift. For Gen Z, here's a hack: Turn your reframe thought into an Instagram caption or a meme in your notes. It will make it fun and relatable. So, my favorite reframe for career setbacks is this isn't happening to me. Instead, it's happening for me. That rejection letter isn't the universe being mean, it's redirecting you toward a better opportunity. That difficult project isn't punishment, it's preparation for bigger challenges. That critical feedback isn't an attack, it's information you can use to become unstoppable. So the magic happens when reframing becomes automatic. So instead of your first thought being, why is this happening to me? It becomes, how can this help me grow? Instead of, I'm not qualified enough, you think, I'm building qualifications through experience. This isn't positive thinking BS. This is strategic thinking that keeps you moving forward instead of getting stuck. So practice this reframing with everything. Traffic jam? Time to listen to that career podcast. Project deadline moved up? Chance to show how you perform under pressure. Colleague got the promotion you wanted. Opportunity to learn what they did differently. Every situation becomes fuel for your growth when you are a master reframer. Think of reframing like editing your own movie. You're both the actor and the director. The raw footage is your experience, but how you edit it, as a tragedy or a triumph, is your choice. And when you start editing consciously, your narrative becomes empowering. So now, mindset without action is like having a car without fuel. Victors don't just think differently, they act differently. The key is to start small. Don't wait for the perfect day or the perfect plan. Take micro actions. If you want to get fitter, start with a 5-minute walk. If you want to ace your exams, start by solving 2 questions today. If you want to be confident, start by greeting one person daily. These micro wins build momentum. So let me give you an example. Rohan, a college student, wanted to crack the CAT exam but felt overwhelmed. Instead of drowning in books, he started with a simple action: solving 5 questions daily. That's it. Slowly, he increased to 10, then 20, and within 6 months, his confidence soared and he cracked the exam with flying colors. His secret? Not giant leaps, but consistent micro wins. So, victors also use accountability. Share your goal with a friend, a mentor, or even your parents. When someone checks in on you, you're more likely to stay consistent and celebrate your progress. Every small step counts. And here's a powerful action technique I call the 5% rule. When you feel overwhelmed by a career challenge, ask yourself, what's 5% of the solution I can implement today? If you need to improve your technical skills, maybe 5% is researching one online course. If you want to change industries, maybe 5% is reading one article about your target field. The beautiful thing about consistent action is that it builds unshakable confidence. Every time you follow through a commitment to yourself, you prove that you're someone who gets things done. This internal evidence is more powerful than any external validation. Remember, action doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to happen. A mediocre resume sent out is infinitely more valuable than a perfect resume that stays on your laptop. An average networking conversation is better than no networking conversation. Progress beats perfection every single time. Confidence doesn't drop from the sky, it is built brick by brick through empowered action. And lastly, even victors need support. No one climbs a mountain alone. To sustain your mindset, you need a supportive ecosystem. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. If your circle is full of complainers, you'll absorb that energy. If your circle is full of go getters, you'll rise with them. And this is why mentors matter. A mentor can give you perspective, guidance, and encouragement. Peers also matter. Create what I call a victor circle, a small group of friends or colleagues who encourage your progress, celebrate your wins, and hold you accountable. For example, form a study group where you check in daily, or join an online community where people share progress and cheer each other on. Asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Even the best athletes have coaches. Even the best singers have trainers. Victors know the value of collaboration. Remember, building a supportive ecosystem isn't about using people. It's about creating mutually beneficial relationships where everyone grows together. The goal is to surround yourself with people who believe in possibilities rather than limitations, who celebrate your wins and help you learn from your setbacks. So, my dear listeners, here's the truth. Life will always give you reasons to feel like a victim, but you always have the choice to shift your perspective. Being a victim keeps you stuck. Being a victor propels you forward. Remember the steps. Understand the difference between victim and victor. Identify your personal roadblocks. Reframe your narrative. Take empowered action and build a supportive ecosystem. But here's what I want you to remember most. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen perfectly. You'll catch yourself sliding back into victim thinking sometimes, and that's normal. The difference is that now you have the tools to recognize it and shift back into victor mode quickly. Your career is not something that happens to you, it's something you create day by day, choice by choice, thought by thought. Every time you choose empowered thinking over victim thinking, you're literally rewiring your brain for success. Every small action you take builds evidence that you're someone who makes things happen. The young professionals who truly succeed aren't the ones who never face setbacks. They are the ones who have trained themselves to see setbacks as setups for comebacks. They are the ones who decided that they are the authors of their own career stories. So here's my challenge for you tonight. Write down one situation where you felt like a victim and then reframe it into a victor statement. Do this daily for 1 week. At the end of the week, reflect on how your mindset shifted. Share your reflections with me and with your friends. Inspire others to make the same shift. You were not born to be a victim of circumstances. You were born to be a victor of your destiny. So this is Kapil Gupta signing off from the Kapil Gupta Career Pod Show. Stay strong, stay empowered, and always remember the power to change your life is in your perspective.